Hi there, hope you've all made it home safe and sound. When I met with each of you, I talked about the option of you being able to get a link for a video follow-up series. What that is that I decided to look over all of my notes from every coaching session that I had to see what themes I saw over again or what information I could share that would be the most helpful to the most people. And so today we're going to talk about what I call the flame under your butt, love nudges, love shoves, and how our body can make us stop in our tracks to really make it clear that we've got to make a change. I will do a second video and send that out next week. I haven't decided yet what that topic will be, but again, I'm going to look for something that would be beneficial and helpful to the majority of the group, if not all. Okay, so what is the flame under your butt? So the flame under your butt is what I call 4 different age frames that each of us hit, whether we're paying attention or not, is something else. They are designed to move us along on our mission and path, to help us step up into our gifts and path and purpose and not play small. And each time we hit one, the flame in our rear end to move gets a little higher and a little hotter, and that's why I call them the flame under your butt. The first one happens around 27, 28, 29 years old. This is called your first Saturn return. This is when we have our first wake-up call. We realize, gosh, I'm going to live my own life. I'm going to make my own decisions, and they may not be what my family or friends think I should do or would want me to do, but that's too bad. So we kind of own, I am my own person. I'm making my own decisions for my life. And each of these transition points, by the way, are typically tied to something significant. It could be the birth of a child, moving to a different state, a job change, getting married, those types of things. So they're significant, and when you look back, it'll help you to make sense of things. And if some of these are still coming up, it will help you to prepare. So first Saturn return, 27, 28, 29 years old. The second one is from 40 to 43. And what happens during that, it's called Uranus opposition. Uranus, just like the planet. And what happens during 40 to 43 is that we tend to start to turn inward, and we start to really ask and think about, what do we believe spiritually? What do we stand for? Who are we? Who do we want in our life? And so we stop caring as much about approval and applause from the outside world. Now, what can also happen at this point is we don't feel old yet, but we realize we're not getting any younger and that we're running out of time. So a lot of times that will motivate people to make a significant change at that point. So that's about our internal looking at and alignment. When you get to 50, that's called Chiron return, and Chiron is spelled Chiron. And at Chiron return, you're sort of asked to begin to meld the inner and outer worlds of you and what you believe in, stand for, etc. And at this point, if you haven't paid attention to the signs and nudges that have been provided for you, you might start to have some health issues. I've seen it a lot. So I'll share a couple things. On my 50th birthday, I was out celebrating with friends. I was still in corporate America. I was terrified to leave. There was never going to be enough money in the bank. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. But I was out celebrating, and I came in the next day, and they're like, guess what? We're doing layoffs. And so when we get nudged along, a relationship might end, a speed bump happens in our life, just something that's very inconvenient or just makes us kind of stop and look, I call that a love nudge. But when you don't pay attention to them, they don't go away. They just get bigger and stronger, and they turn into a love shove. So in my own case, I would say I probably wasn't paying attention to some of those nudges. So coming into the office the day after my 50th birthday and being told, guess what, we're doing layoffs, that's a love shove. Like, if you're not going to move, we're going to help you move. So trust me, you want to move. You don't really want the choice to be made for you. It'll always be better if you choose. And so take action rather than waiting would be the lesson there. The fourth and final time frame that we hit is called your second Saturn return, and it's around 57, 58, 59. This is like the cymbals in the symphony. At this point, if you haven't made the changes or noticed the nudges and shoves, it doesn't mean that you can't change. It just means that you're probably very, very uncomfortable, and possibly those health issues have become more pronounced. Because let's face it, when we end up on our hands and knees or flat on our back, which I've literally seen people end up in the hospital flat on their back, we will eventually arrive at that question of, what am I doing with my life? And that's why it happens. So at 57, 58, 59, your second Saturn return, you're not going to be allowed to hide behind a title anymore, a relationship, anything that's keeping you from using and sharing your gifts with the world, from being who you've come here to be, will start to be picked at. So each of these 4 transition points are important, and they, like I said, will hopefully help you make sense of some things that have happened, prepare you for things that could be coming up. But the bottom line is, make sure that you're the one taking action, not waiting for it to happen. It is very unpleasant being cannonballed out into the world so that you'll move forward with your life. I can attest to it personally. And so the thing I wanted to talk about with your health too is that when we don't pay attention, those health issues can pop up. And I actually talked to several people that had already had that experience. So I hope this has been helpful, and that you walk away knowing, I haven't imagined this. These things have happened. If I'm feeling anxiety right now and I'm close to or in one of those age time frames, the good news is you're not imagining it. You're not crazy. The not so good news, or the other side, is it's not going away. It just gets stronger. So pay attention, take action. And if I can help you, it would be my honor and privilege. I thank you so much, and we'll talk to you soon. I'll be sending out that second video next week when I decide what the topic is. Bye.